So, you thought you knew how cruising works? You pack your bags, hit the buffet, and brag about your loyalty points like it's a full-time job. Well, surprise! The cruise lines have been busy flipping the script, adding rule changes that will catch you off guard faster than a seagull stealing your poolside burger.
Man, this is the life. Sun, sea, and a perfect burger. Hey! Oh my, you kidding?
Some of these new rules are sneaky money grabs. Others are just plain ridiculous. And a few make you wonder if the cruise executives are just spinning a wheel labeled, "How can we annoy passengers today?"
Ready? Let's see what our destiny holds.
Give it a good one.
And teal blank again.
Ooh, what can we ban today?
Your choice. Yesterday was deck chairs, so aim high.
I've got ideas.
From being told you can't bring a rubber duck to discovering your free donut now costs more than a small mortgage, we're counting down 12 surprise cruise line rule changes, catching cruisers off guard. And you'll really want to stick around because the last one, it basically rewrites what loyalty means at sea, and not in your favor. Number 1, Carnival charging for free treats like donuts and churros. Remember when Carnival was all about fun? The towel animals, the late night pizza, the free treats that made you feel like you were getting spoiled without swiping your card every 5 minutes? Yeah, well, add donuts and churros to the casualty list of things that used to be free. Carnival quietly slipped this in, and now some of those sugary little perks you could grab without thinking have a price tag. And the reaction online? Oh, cruisers are not amused. One person said, "What's next? Charging me for breathing ship air." Honestly, not far-fetched at this rate. Think about it. You've already paid for your cruise, the gratuities, the drink package, maybe even a specialty dining splurge. And now, if you want to end your night with a simple donut or a churro, it's like walking into a Carnival game booth. Only this time, instead of winning a stuffed animal, you're just winning a smaller bank account. And the worst part? It's not just the money. It's the principle. Cruisers love their little freebie rituals. Midnight snacks, grab-and-go treats, the feeling that at least a few things on board don't require a credit card. But Carnival found yet another way to nickel and dime. And you know what? We all know how this works. One line does it, and suddenly the rest are like, "Oh, hey, why aren't we charging for donuts too?" So yeah, your sweet tooth just got more expensive. Hope you budgeted for the dessert surcharge. Number 2, rubber ducks ban spreading beyond Disney. Ah yes, the rubber duck wars. For years, cruisers have made a whole game out of hiding little ducks around ships. Families would leave them tucked into plant pots, perched on stair rails, or hidden on deck chairs, and kids would light up when they found one. It was wholesome, it was fun, and honestly, it gave people something to do other than fight over loungers by the pool. But apparently, the cruise lines didn't get the memo about fun. Disney was the first to crack down, claiming that rubber ducks are a safety hazard. Yep, a 1-ounce bath toy with a smiley face is now a danger to modern cruise ship operations. What's next? Outlawing friendship bracelets because someone might get poked with a bead? And here's the thing, this ban is spreading. Reports are popping up that other lines don't want ducks on board either. Why? Because crew members end up cleaning them up, they can block drains, or they just don't fit the brand image. Translation, we'd rather you spend money on our official Disney merch than enjoy your $1 rubber duck. The internet, of course, lost its mind. Entire Facebook groups dedicated to cruising with rubber ducks went ballistic. You'd think someone had canceled Christmas. And honestly, they kinda did. Because for a lot of families, finding a duck was a highlight of their trip. A little piece of community fun that wasn't orchestrated by the cruise line itself. Now, if you sneak one on board, you're practically a criminal. Better watch out because nothing says vacation memories like security, confiscating your kid's bath toy. So say goodbye to the rubber duck scavenger hunts. Apparently, they're too dangerous. Meanwhile, people are double-fisting margaritas by the pool and stumbling around on deck in flip-flops. But sure, the duck was the real problem. Number 3, musical instruments banned on Holland America. So picture this. You're packing for your big Holland America cruise. You've got your sunscreen, your formal night outfit, maybe a good book, and your tuba. Because clearly, what every cruise cabin needs is a brass section. Well, not anymore. Holland America came right out and said it. No, musical instruments are not allowed. Guitars, drums, keyboards, horns, etc. That's their actual list. They didn't even sugarcoat it. Basically, unless you're booked as entertainment, your dreams of bringing your garage band to sea are over. Now, let's be fair. I get it. Nobody wants to hear their neighbor strumming Wonderwall at midnight through paper-thin cabin wall, or a kid banging out chopsticks on a keyboard while you're trying to nap. But come on, was this really such a widespread problem that it needed an official rule? Were there roving bands of saxophonists harassing guests by the pool? Here's the sarcastic kicker. Cruise lines are more than happy to blast music 24/7 on the Lido deck, in the casino, in every single lounge. But the second you try to bring a guitar to strum a quiet tune on your balcony, suddenly it's a threat to ship harmony. And it's not just guitars. People have asked if they can bring violins, flutes, even ukuleles for personal practice, and the answer is the same. Nope, not happening. Unless you're booked to perform in the theater, your instrument stays at home. So if you were planning to serenade the sunset or start a mariachi trio in the buffet line, sorry, the cruise line says you're out of tune. And Holland America is leading the way. At this rate, give it another year and they'll be banning kazoo whistles too. Because God forbid a passenger has fun without paying for the official show. Number 4, minors curfew and under 18 public area restriction after certain hours. Nothing says family vacation like telling your teenager they're basically Cinderella. Yep, on Carnival ships. Guests under 18 now have a curfew. By 1 a.m., if they're still roaming the decks without a parent in tow, security will scoop them up faster than you can say vacation's over. And let's be real, 1 a.m. is prime time for a lot of teens. They've spent the whole day in the arcade, made a dozen new friends at Club O2, and now they want to hang out on the Lido deck like they're living in a teen movie. But instead, they're marched back to their cabin like they're on parole. The official reason? Safety cruise lines say it helps avoid late-night drama, keeps noise levels down, and protects kids. But parents see it differently. Some are actually relieved, less chance their kid gets into trouble. Others, they're furious. Because when you sell a cruise as freedom at sea, the last thing they expect is a security guard enforcing bedtime. And here's the funny part. The teens themselves think it's a personal attack. You've got 17-year-olds complaining they can drive a car at home, but can't sit by the pool with friends after midnight. Meanwhile, adults are stumbling back from the bar at 3 a.m., like extras in The Walking Dead. But sure, the real danger is Chad and his Sprite. So if you're sailing with kids, prepare for some drama. Either they'll sulk because they feel restricted, or they'll try to sweet-talk you into being their supervisor just so they can hang out late. Congratulations, you just became the world's least fun chaperone. Before we move on to the buffet drama, do me a favor and hit that like button. It's free, unlike donuts apparently, and it helps the channel more than you know. Go on, click it. I promise it won't be added to your onboard account. Number 5, limits on buffet portions and all-you-can-eat dialing back. Ah, the cruise buffet. A sacred place where shrimp mountains never ended, lobster tails magically appeared, and no one judged you for having a plate that looked like a food pyramid on steroids. Keyword, past tense. Because now some cruise lines are quietly pulling back on the whole all-you-can-eat promise. That's right, portion control has hit the high seas. Lobster night? Don't expect 3 tails on your plate anymore? Shrimp cocktail? You might get 5 sad little shrimp instead of the 20 you were hoping to hoard. And if you thought about going back for your 4th plate of prime rib, good luck. The official excuse? Reducing food waste. Sure, because clearly the solution to waste is policing how many bread rolls a passenger can grab, while entire trays of untouched food are being carted off at closing time. Makes perfect sense. Passengers, of course, are furious. People book cruises because of the endless food. The buffet isn't just a meal. It's part of the cruise culture. Midnight chocolate fountains, towers of fruit, mountains of bacon. Now it's more like, here's your carefully measured single portion. Don't get greedy. And let's be honest, this isn't about food waste. This is about money. Smaller portions mean smaller costs, and they'll spin it however they like. But when your cruise commercial brags about all-you-can-eat luxury, maybe don't pull a bait and switch with lobster rations. So yeah, the dream of endless shrimp may be dead. Welcome to the new era of buffet dining, where your appetite is apparently subject to corporate approval. Number 6, stricter dress codes at the main dining room. Cruise lines love to say, come as you are, everyone's welcome. But step into the main dining room with your cargo shorts and a baseball cap, and suddenly you're a criminal mastermind. Yep, stricter dress codes are being enforced, and they're cracking down hard. For years, people have argued about this online. One side says, it's vacation, let people wear what they want. The other side insists it's a fine dining experience, not Burger King. And now the cruise lines are leaning toward the second group. No shorts, no tank tops, no ball caps, and in some cases, even no flip-flops. Which sounds fancy until you remember you're still eating the same steak and mashed potatoes that your buddy in the buffet just got in shorts and sandals. He just didn't have to put on slacks to do it. And here's the thing, people don't mind dressing up for formal night. That's part of the fun. But on a Tuesday, when you've been at the pool all day and just want to sit down dinner without ironing a button up, suddenly you're being told you're not appropriate. Meanwhile, there's a guy 2 tables over in an ill-fitting suit jacket that looks like it came straight from Goodwill, but hey, at least he's technically following the rules. So now the dining room is less about the food and more about a fashion show. Forget the shrimp cocktail. The real appetizer is a judgmental glance from the maitre d' if your outfit doesn't pass the vibe check. Bottom line, if you don't like it, you can always hit the buffet. Just don't take too many shrimp or we're right back to rule number 5. Number 7, no more paper daily planners, app only. Remember those cute little paper planners they used to slip under your cabin door? The ones that told you when trivia started, where bingo was happening, and what time you could embarrass yourself at karaoke? Yeah, well, kiss them goodbye. Because now more and more cruise lines are going app only. That's right. If you want to know what's going on, you'd better hope your phone is charged, your Wi-Fi is working, and Grandma figured out how to download the app without accidentally joining Facebook Marketplace. The cruise lines say it's about going green and saving paper, which sounds noble until you realize it's also a convenient way to funnel you onto their app, where, surprise, surprise, everything you see is just a tap away from costing you more money. Want to check tomorrow's events? Oh look, an ad for the specialty steakhouse. Thinking about karaoke? Here's a pop-up about buying the premium drinks package. And the real kicker? Not everyone wants to be glued to their phone on vacation. A lot of people book cruises specifically to unplug. But without that trusty paper schedule, suddenly you're tethered to a glowing screen just to know if bingo starts at 2 or 3. And don't even get me started on WIFI. Half the time, you can't even load your own email, but sure, the cruise app will definitely work flawlessly. So now the daily planner, and once a simple piece of paper with a few boxes and times, has become yet another reason to carry your phone everywhere. Hope you packed that portable charger, because apparently staying informed is no longer free of battery anxiety. Number 8. Solo cabin surcharges creeping back in. Cruise lines love dangling shiny perks in front of us, and one of the biggest in recent years was the solo cabin revolution. Finally, no more paying double just because you didn't want to share a shoebox cabin with a stranger who snores. Singles got their own cozy spaces without the dreaded single supplement. Well, guess what? The honeymoon's over. More and more lines are quietly slipping those dreaded surcharges back into the fine print. You thought your solo cruise was going to cost less? Surprise! You're basically paying extra for the privilege of not having a roommate. And the logic is laughable. They'll say, we lose money on solo passengers because cabins are designed for 2. Okay, but here's the thing. If the room is occupied, it's occupied. You're not wasting towels, you're not eating 2 dinners, and you're definitely not taking up more space at the pool. The only difference is you don't have to argue with anyone about thermostat setting. For passengers, it feels like bait and switch. First, they hyped up solo cruising as this trendy, liberating new option. They built whole marketing campaigns around it. Then, oops, they quietly slide back in the fees. It's like the cruise line saying, sure, you can travel alone. Just pay us for the imaginary friend we assumed you'd bring. So if you're booking solo, be prepared to pay for the ghost roommate in your cabin. Because apparently, even when there's only one of you, the cruise line still finds a way to double the bill. Number 9. Charges for room service after midnight. Midnight room service used to be one of the greatest cruise perks ever invented. You'd stumble back from the comedy club, scroll through the menu, and order a grilled cheese and fries delivered straight to your cabin for free. It felt like pure luxury. You didn't even need pants. But now, midnight snacks have gone corporate. A lot of cruise lines are slapping service charges on anything ordered after a certain hour. Want that late night burger? That'll be an extra fee. Craving cheesecake at 2 a.m.? Better hope your wallet's as close as the mini fridge. And of course, the reasoning is dressed up in cruise speak. This is to improve efficiency and reduce waste. Translation: we realized you'd happily pay for that sandwich, so we're charging you for it. The real punch in the gut is how small the charges seem. Usually a few bucks per order. It's sneaky, because sure, $4 doesn't sound like much, until you realize you've ordered 6 times over the week. Suddenly your midnight munchies have cost more than a specialty dining night. And let's not forget the comedy of it all. These are the same cruise lines that brag about 24-hour food on commercials. They show happy couples biting into burgers at midnight with the tagline, endless food, anytime you want it. They just leave out the fine print. Also, endless charges anytime we want them. So yeah, the new message is clear. Eat when we say you can, or pay the price. Midnight snacks aren't free anymore. They're a midnight money grab. Number 10. Cheers Zero Proof Package. Pay extra for juice. Okay, this one is pure comedy. Carnival rolled out the Cheers Zero Proof Package. Basically, it's the drink package, without the alcohol. That's right. Pay hundreds of dollars for unlimited soda, mocktails, specialty coffees, and juices. Translation: you're spending good money on things that are usually cheap as chips. Let's break this down. A soda on board is what? $3? A mocktail? Maybe $5. Specialty coffee? Around $6. So unless you plan on downing 30 mocktails a day, you're not really saving money. You're just handing Carnival a wad of cash up front so they can hand you fruit punch with an umbrella in it. And here's the kicker. The marketing makes it sound like you're joining some exclusive club. Enjoy premium zero-proof cocktails crafted by our expert bartenders? Yeah, Karen. That's just orange juice and grenadine in a fancy glass. But hey, they'll happily charge you for the experience. People online are divided. Some think it's great for sober cruisers who want the same all-inclusive vibe as their cocktail drinking friend. Others think it's daylight robbery. One person even said, it's like buying an unlimited breadstick package at Olive Garden, and the sarcasm writes itself. Imagine paying $300 for what is essentially bottomless Sprite. It's like the cruise line saying, look, if you won't drink your money's worth in booze, we'll find another way to take your cash. So if you see someone walking around with their 5th sunrise mocktail of the day, don't judge. They're just trying to break even on the world's most expensive juice cleanse. Number 11. Bigger port tourist taxes and per passenger charges. Ah yes, the classic cruise surprise. Just when you thought you'd budgeted enough for the trip, the ports get in on the action. More and more destinations, Mexico, the Bahamas, even some European ports, are now tacking on extra per passenger fees just for the privilege of stepping off the ship. And don't be fooled by the wording. They call it a tourist tax or a port charge, but let's be honest, it's basically a cover charge just to breathe their air for a few hours. You get off the ship, you buy souvenirs, you spend money in their shops and restaurants, and somehow that's not enough. Nope, here's an extra bill for existing on their soil. Cruisers are noticing it too. You look at your invoice and suddenly there's an extra $20 here, $30 there, multiplied by every passenger in your cabin. Family of 4? Congratulations, you just paid for the mayor's new jet ski. Now, of course, the ports claim it's to help cover environmental costs, infrastructure, or sustainable tourism, which is cruise speak for, we know you're trapped and we're cashing in. And the cruise lines, they're not exactly fighting back. They just roll that cost into your final bill and act like they're doing you a favor by listing it separately. So the next time you're staring at your statement wondering why your all-inclusive vacation suddenly costs $200 more, just remember, you didn't just pay for the cruise, you also paid a surprise tourist toll booth every time you stepped off the gangway. Welcome to Vacation, the deluxe edition. Number 12, loyalty program rule changes. Perks based on spending, not days sailed. You thought loyalty at sea meant showing up year after year, racking up cruises like badges of honor, and finally strutting around with your shiny platinum or diamond card. Well, surprise, the cruise lines are rewriting the rules, and it's no longer about how many nights you've spent at sea. Nope, it's about how much cash you've dropped on board. That's right, your 20 cruises, your 200 nights, your decades of loyalty, meaningless. Because unless you've been throwing money at the casino, specialty dining, and overpriced Wi-Fi packages, you're suddenly not as valued as the guy who just sailed once but blew $5,000 at the steakhouse. Loyalty used to mean time and consistency. Now it means, how fast can you empty your wallet while trapped on our floating mall? It's like your best friend of 20 years suddenly ditching you for the new guy who bought them a Rolex. Cruisers are furious, and rightfully so. Imagine devoting half your retirement to one cruise line, proudly flashing your loyalty perks, then waking up to discover your status is basically reset because you didn't buy enough martinis. The message is clear. Loyalty isn't about sailing anymore, it's about spending. And that's why we saved this one for last, because it flips the entire concept of cruising on its head. You thought you were climbing the loyalty ladder, but nope, turns out it's not a ladder at all. It's a slot machine, and only the biggest spenders hit the jackpot. And there you have it. 12 cruise line rule changes nobody asked for, but we all get to live with. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Believe it or not, there are actually some things you can still get for free on your cruise. Yeah, free. No hidden fees, no surprise charges. So if you want to know what those are, feel free to watch that video next. And as always, thanks for watching Cruise Secrets, where we tell you what the cruise lines definitely don't put in the brochure.